God bless you and shalom, beloved one. My name's Rabbi Schneider. Thank you for joining me today on this weekly devotional called Seeds of Revelation. I'm going to be reading today from the book of Colossians, chapter number 2, verse 8. Hear the word of God. See to it that no one takes you captive through philosophy and empty deception, according to the tradition of men, according to the elementary principles of the world, rather than according to Christ. And the point that I want to make today is I find that many people that are sincere about pursuing God, without them even realizing it, get taken captive by a religious culture. And that oftentimes can hinder us in actually being led by the Spirit. In other words, oftentimes we begin to go to church and there's a culture that exists in the church world. And basically the culture says, look like this, dress like this, say these words, don't say these words. And then we develop these Christianese words that we're saying all the time. And sometimes the pressure around us can actually hinder us from being led by the Spirit of God. We begin to almost play a part. We want to kind of look spiritual. And so we begin to develop these religious traditions that are part of our culture. And these traditions sometimes, beloved one, actually hinder us from being led by God's Spirit. For example, sometimes someone will say, well, I'll be praying for you, because they think that's the Christian thing to say. But will they really be praying for the person they just told that they were going to be praying for? And it's really important that we don't let the pressure of the Christian culture get in the way of our walking with integrity before the Lord and being led by the Spirit of God. And oftentimes there's rules that are put upon us from the Christian culture that we're in, do this, don't do this. And sometimes these rules, beloved, really are nothing more than legalism, and they can prevent us from being free in Jesus. Now, don't misunderstand me. I'm not giving license to sin in any way, shape, or form. I'm just simply saying that the same problem that Jesus faced with the Pharisees in his day, where they taught their own traditions as if they were doctrines of God, and their traditions were actually keeping them from being led by the Spirit, beloved, this same type of phenomenon can happen in our lives. So let's make sure that our heart is always being lifted to the Lord and that we're being led by His Spirit rather than religious traditions and the traditions, beloved, of men. God bless you, and I love you today. I hope it's helpful. Shalom.